Good evening, everybody. Matrix here, and here's my watch list for June 11th. Okay, taking a look at the futures right now, we are gapping up ever so slightly, about $7.25, which kind of equates to 72, 73 cents on the SPY. The SPY have had a pretty massive run up for the past few days now, and it's looked like it's consolidating around the top of its range. It's really up to the buyers to prove that it can go higher. It's on the burden of the buyers, in my opinion, since it has came up so high. So tomorrow, I do believe I will be looking for more of a range day or a top out day. Like a consolidation day, okay? Looking for the highs of yesterday and see how it reacts from there. Because right now, this prior 3 days of action uh, is pretty strong as it's holding near the highs of its previous run, but it's also kind of like a sign, transition to the next phase or the next leg. So the next leg could either be up or down, right? So I will be watching for yesterday's highs and the previous day's open. So let's take a look at the SPY real quick here. Okay, this blue line here is 289.80s. This is where we are gapping up to right now. Pretty sideways, like the range is very, very tight. Not much action right now. So watching for the highs here. 290.80s, and then watching for here the opening price or yesterday's highs at 288.80s here. So we have a dollar range as we're gapping up. So we're right in the middle of everything. Looking to see what it does pre-market, right? If it pops out of gates, I'll be looking at paying attention really closely to the 290.82s and see if it tops out, because it does look like it's about to make roll over, in my opinion. I mean, if it was strong, it should have held around the highs of this range, right? However, we are gapping back up, so definitely have to see what it does pre-market. As far as the watch list goes, I haven't been able to find anything with like major catalyst. So it's going to be a tougher day to trade tomorrow. Overall, I'm looking for, well, I usually lean towards a short bias. So overall, I'm looking for more of a pullback day since stocks are a little bit overextended from these prior run-ups. NVDA, I really like. We had like a seller's candle. We gapped up and then made a seller's candle, right? So this could be a profit take, and I'm looking for a pop and drop. Like I said, it's up to the burden of the buyers to prove that these stocks can actually go even higher. So looking at NVDA right now, we have major resistance here at 150, obviously, because it's a psychological whole number. And also watching the highs of yesterday, see if it double tops, if it pops up fast, like with a lot of velocity. I am looking for a short here, like a quick, a double top short here for pullback. And if it were to pull back, I do expect it to pull back down to at least the 149 here. Okay. It failed to hold above VWAP on the day. And as you can see, people shorted right here, right around this 151 area. And then they covered a little bit on the late day, came back down, hammered it. And then at the close, we got some cover pops going here. So a quick pop into the 150 and see what it does. And then if it blows through, then stop out real quick. And then looking at the highs here around the 151s again. Okay, so I'm going to give this 2 tries and try to bring it right back down. A good target would actually be this 147 area. Let me zoom out a little bit more here, 147. This would be a good target because it's the prior gap up highs, right? And from here, if 147 cannot hold, this could really panic down and just fill the gap to previous day's close right here around the 145. So looking right here, we have some nice support. Prior support now becomes resistance. It's going to be a tough day. Like I said, just going to look for a quick move and not going to try to hold my positions for too long. So that's NVDA. Let me actually save these drawings here for tomorrow real quick. NVDA. Okay. Next up, I'm also looking at Walmart, WMT. Looking at this, this is very, very overextended. If I zoom out a little bit on the daily chart, we're nearing its all-time highs at 110. Okay. Today, it has broke out its prior highs here from last year at 116. So that gets marked off as a support area now. With the stock running up so much and being so overextended for the past 4 days, I am looking for a pullback day. Coming back over here on the daily chart, we see right here, we do see 108 as being a nice area of resistance back in 2018, early 2018. Right here, we have 108.18 as a high. And then we have this low here at 108.11. So 108 area, give or take, I am expecting resistance there. So looking for a short around that area to take a quick pullback, perhaps $2 down back to the 106, maybe a little higher up to the 106.50, because Walmart does have a range of about almost $2. Let me check real quick here. WMT. Okay, it has an average true range of $1.60. So from 108 to 106.50 would be pretty solid if it's to follow its average true range. And with the SPY overall gapping up right now, I am expecting a gap up. As you can see, the action is pretty strong. We did hold a very key support level here, like a major support level at the 107.20 today. So if it dips out the gates and shows me signs of holding 107, 107.20, I could long it and looking for range day, right? So 108.20s or 108 area, I'm going to mark off here. Okay. Just a quick note, the all-time highs for Walmart is at 110 over here. So if it breaks out, it could really squeeze, but definitely watch out for that and be a little cautious. I definitely don't want to get in these moves early since it has yet to prove that their run is over, but it's looking like it's coming really close since it's so overextended. So definitely start looking for these types of plays for tomorrow. Without a news catalyst, I mean, that's all I can really ask for. Let's mark off here. 107, 106.50, yeah. Give or take 106.70. And I'm going to save this up real quick here. Walmart. I like trading Walmart because basically the spread is actually pretty tight for the stock and it moves quite slower. It's not as volatile, so I can take a decent amount of shares on it. As long as I have a plan set, then I can be very ready to get out quick. It doesn't have like super sporadic moves, so that's what I like about Walmart. Looking over here at AMD, today it topped out at its all-time highs area at around 34, and it pulled a little bit. So I am intending looking for this thing to test again around the highs. It actually did breach its all-time highs a little bit, but it quickly failed. So this is a failed breakout. At the end of the day, though, I mean, we do see a nice little cover pop back up after hours. And if it's gapping up, I am looking for resistance here at the 34. Definitely, that's the first key area I'll be watching for a rejection, or we'll have to see what it does when it gets there, right? And then obviously we gotta give it some wiggle room. So nice 30 cents is today's highs as well. I'm gonna mark that off. Don't want to get it right when it gets up here. I do want to see a double top action or a lower high. And I want to see it prove with volume or like a seller's candle, something like this, right? So yeah, looking for a pop and drop, pullback day, very overextended on AMD here on this chart, and yeah, looking for a pullback day. If the 33 snaps, then we are filling the gap for sure. And yeah, that's pretty much it for AMD. I don't want to buy this stock, to be quite honest, because it's so overextended. So let's keep that on watch. So that's 3 tickers. And finally, I am watching Zoom. I like a lot because Zoom is making its 52-week highs, right? Today it pulled back hard from a very key area of 106. So 106 is definitely an area to watch out for. Okay, we don't know whether it can go higher. It definitely has the possibility to go higher, but it kind of like got held down here and it never came back up. So it does look like it does need like a consolidation day or a pullback day. Definitely looking for a pop, and from here we'll see how far it drops back down. If it drops back down only a very tiny little bit and starts holding the 105, you can actually long it, in my opinion, because if it's supposed to fail, it's not supposed to hold above the 105, right? So as long as it holds above 105, if it pops, then definitely long it, and aim for the next level. Next target would be 107.50, but that would make it super overextended then. So I don't think it has much legs. If it comes down at the open, I'm looking at the 100 level again. It did dip to the 100 and held, and we are forming a nice uptrend line. So if it comes down to the 101 and refuses to panic, then you know the stock is strong too, right? At the end of the day, we did get short sellers piled in, right? They covered and then hammered it down, and then just kind of got sideways action, right? So there is no selling as of yet. However, there is no buying either. We're in the middle of everything. So Zoom, definitely on watch because of its being so overextended. Watching the highs, I mean, you can take it from the highs, short it back down to the closing price, and then ride it back up. We'll see. We'll have to see. So that's pretty much my watch list for this evening. We'll have to watch and see what happens pre-market. If we get any kind of analyst upgrades or downgrades that causes stocks to gap up, gap down. For example, give me a nice news catalyst so I can play off of, because without a news catalyst, I'm not too fond of playing a choppy day. It's not much of a trend day in my opinion. So I do like the news catalyst to give my biases a little bit more conviction. ROKU as well, it's in the middle of everything, right? So nothing much to watch on ROKU. This 100 is about to test, and we do see it. 100, first of all, is a very key level, right? So we are closing a little bit above it. See what it does. Looking for a dip to hold 100 again. and if it holds, then can definitely long it. Overall, the chart is pretty bullish. Still, I mean, if you're looking at this range right here, just this range, it's holding above the top half of its range right here, right? So this stock still looks pretty strong, and until it snaps under the 100 and holds under the 100, I'm going to keep my long bias on this and maintain my bias to be long. So yeah, that's it. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all bright and early tomorrow. Ciao.